Well, Halloween is over. I don't think either of us really went trick-or-treating or anything like that.
But we did get quite the treat, which was
Yes.
a very short day. One level of play, we lost Jonathan Little in 8th place, Chris Klodnicki in 7th place, and then got the rest of the day to enjoy doing whatever we felt like here at Foxwoods.
Right, and I didn't see you at all, and you didn't see me at all, which was also a treat.
Which is why we were doing whatever we wanted to. All right, since it was a short day, we're gonna make this a short show, keep it short and sweet, just like Day 5 action with Jess and BJ.
Yep. Only the 2 eliminations. Nothing really major. Jonathan Little was short-stacked and dominated. Chris Klodnicki
Was fairly short stacked and got it in with top pair versus overcards and a flush draw.
and the flush
And a
hit.
straight draw. A mega draw.
Yeah.
And Steve Brackesy got there, and now here we are at the final table. So let's go ahead and draft.
Settle up. We gotta settle up.
Thank you. We do have to settle up.
Oh man, did I miss this one. We had two former, one reigning players of the year in the field, Jonathan Little and Andy Frankenberger. They had just under 1 million combined chip counts. The over-under was how many combined chips
today with.
Combined chips they would have. The line was 1.25 million. They have
394,000.
374,000.
Oh, 374,000.
Yeah. Jonathan Little busted for 0, and Andy Frankenberger
just couldn't pick up a hand, didn't really play all level.
is the short stack. So
Yes.
you killed me on that one.
Now, I am ahead for the stop in terms
3
of
to
over-unders,
2.
but you can tie
With
if
today's.
you get today's over-under right. Now, if you look at the chip counts, it's a case of the haves and the have-nots. You have 3 players over 1.2 million, and then you have 3 players under 600,000.
Yes.
So, the question is, how many hands before we lose a person?
The blinds will be starting at 8,16, 8,000, 16,000. Short stack Andy Frankenberger has 23. At the bottom 3 are all under 31 big blinds. We have set the line.
The loin?
The loin.
Loin. At 30. You know what? I always pick the over here, and I almost always lose. But it seems like Andy tends to pick his spots fairly well. Eli, every time he gets it in, he wins. So I'm not worried about him. I think the wild card
It's a
is
good
Bob.
strategy.
So.
All right, 30 is a lot of hands. We've got
You got to go for the tie.
moderately short stacks. What a weird arrow that is. Okay, the under on 30, and we'll find out in a little while. The final table is being set up behind us. Action's going to start, in about 3 hours?
And remember that we are live streaming this on WPT.com starting at 4:30 p.m. because we're on a 30-minute delay with whole cards.
With
and
full cards.
yeah, this show's short and sweet, but you'll be getting your fill of us because we'll be chatting with you on break.
Or if you don't like us, you can go to the bathroom or something and come back with
We'll be chatting with the empty chair in front of your computer as you go to the bathroom, make a sandwich. Anyways, we Rochambeau'd beforehand.
Got to do our draft.
You won last time at
Yes.
Borgata. When I did this, I won the Rochambeau, by the way. But I'm going to do it again. I think the only play here is to defer, even though I think I'm going to lose someone I would really like to draft.
Right. She won the Rochambeau, decides to let me pick first because there are 3 big stacks.
Yeah.
I get 1, she gets 2nd and 3rd pick. I'm going to go with Christian Harder.
Of course.
2nd in chips, but they all have so much it doesn't matter. And Christian Harder is just a hell of a player. How can I not pick him? He is one of the most popular players. You know, everybody loves Christian.
And he's very high
Great
on
guy.
the do scale. Kids do.
Yes, he is. He does well at Foxwoods and in the Bellagio WPT Championship, and since this is one of those 2, I think this will be where he has his breakthrough. I think Christian can pull this out, win his first WPT title. Go Christian, #1 draft pick.
All right, now I'm going to take, obviously, Stephen Brackesy, who is chip leader with 1.8 million, and I'm going to take Daniel Santoro, who is right behind Christian in chips, 3rd with 1.2?
1.16, just under
1.16.
1.2.
Now, yesterday, Stephen Brackesy had the most chip movement of everybody. He had a lot of chips coming in, but he was the one who busted Jonathan Little. He was the one who
Yes.
busted Chris Klodnicki, and
That's how you become chip leader heading into the final
he
table.
seemed to, become an aggressive player, pick up a lot of pots that I'm more than happy with that pick. Daniel Santoro really impressed me on day 4. Chris Klodnicki may not be the most well-known player, but within the poker world, he's kind of known for putting people to the test a lot with bets on every street or bigger bets, and it seemed like Daniel Santoro was the one putting the pressure on Chris Klodnicki, which is really hard to do. So I feel like that's going to be a good pick too.
Okay, so that's
Back
both
to
of
you.
yours. Now there's the 3 shorter stacks left. Number 4 overall, I'm going to take Andy Frankenberger.
Reigning Player of the Year.
Reigning WPT Player of the Year. Professional poker player less than 2 years, but he has results after results after results.
The latest WPT made millionaire too.
Yes, he crossed the $1 million mark in WPT earnings.
In just about 15 months.
Yes.
Which is not too shabby.
Last year's Player of the Year, won a WSOP bracelet over the summer. Doubters beware, this guy gets results. And so even though he's the short stack, he has over 20 big blinds, he's got 23. If he can pull out that early, he'll be probably all in early. If he can get that double up, I think he's got a shot. So Andy Frankenberger, my number 4 pick.
Number 5?
Number 5, I'm going to go Bob Carbone. He is 4th in chips. Let's see, he's got 36 big blinds, so he's got a solid stack. He doubled up during the short play on day 5.
Yes, he did.
He's an entertaining guy at the table. I think
He's a lot of fun.
He responds to the cameras.
I think he's going to have a big rail too, which ought to help him.
Yes, and I think that'll further energize him. Now, it might lead him to make a bad play, possibly, if he overplays to the cameras and the fans. But he is a graduate of the WPT boot camp. And one of his instructors was Hoyt Corkins. And when they were down to the final 2 tables, they were at the same table, and he was telling Hoyt this, and he was aggressive against Hoyt in a couple of hands, saying, I learned from you, I know how you play. It would be nice to see a WPT bootcamp grad.
And we might get some insight into what types of things you learn at WPT bootcamp, because one of the instructors, Nick Brancato, is going to be part of the live stream with Tony
Part of the
Dust.
commentating crew, yes.
All right, so that leaves me with Eli Berg, but I'm feeling good about this because, like I said, every time he gets it all in, and he's gotten it all in behind at least once or twice and gotten there, I'm feeling good that he'll find good spots to double up. He's very patient that, at the very least, I don't think he'll be the first player out.
Which is a number 6 pick is a great
huge.
quality.
Yes. So, that and the fact that he's cashed here at Foxwoods before and this final table means a lot to him, feeling good about my selections. We are not sure what we're going to play for because our next stop is Jacksonville, where we've not been. So, what did we decide on?
New tournament for us. So, once we get there, whoever wins this final table draft gets to pick the restaurant, regardless of how the other person feels.
And spend up to, but not exceeding, $12.
Yes, we're high rollers.
All right. I think that we drafted. We got the final table coming up. Let's wrap this up with question of the day.
Halloween inspired?
Yes, and since we were talking about things being short and sweet, and it's Halloween, what is your favorite candy bar?
Me first?
I'll go ahead and just throw mine out there. Most of you probably don't know this one. Old Kentucky Chocolates is kind of a tradition in Kentucky.
Don't know it.
They have what's called a thoroughbred bar. It's simple. It's just milk chocolate.
Made out of horses.
Chocolate bar filled with really soft caramel, almost liquidy, gooey caramel. Mostly enjoy it because you only got it once or twice a year when they sold candy at school. So that was
What
my
about the
favorite.
candy evokes horses?
It's from Kentucky.
Okay.
Maybe it's high quality, thoroughbred quality.
Oh, okay.
Caramel
All
and
right.
chocolate.
Wasn't seeing the connection there, and it worried me just a tad. I was 6 years
Think of
old.
People in Kentucky.
6 years old, went to Hershey, Pennsylvania with my family. We went to the Hershey theme park, a chocolate-themed theme park. I would think that would be right up your alley.
Yeah.
And it was great. I loved it. To me, Hershey chocolate is the pinnacle of chocolate. Cheaper chocolate stinks. Hershey is great. And the fancier chocolates and that, I don't like them at all. It never gets better than Hershey's. Classic Hershey's chocolate bar.
Okay, now you're making me really want a Hershey bar.
I don't think we have any around
I'm not
here.
kidding. Like, look, there were kids trick-or-treating. They're bound to have one. Let's go find one and barter with them.
You're going to steal candy from a kid?
I said barter.
Oh, barter. Sure.